Hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. Now, it won't come as a surprise to you that I have assembled scraps, glue, a big, ambitious dream, hallucination for what I can accomplish in a video. Excuse me. But I did want to come on today and, number one, remind you of this book that I altered. And again, this is years ago, so I'm still on my use it, don't store it, and get her done kick. And the reason that this sort of moved from the back burner to top of mind is because very recently Kim Newberg did a video on decorating her altered book. So, you know, monkey see, monkey do. So I gathered up, let me just say, I've been organizing and things are shaping up, but I still have piles and containers scattered all over the floor, all over the room, with bits and pieces in them. And as I discover them, I keep trying to find a way to use them up or make a dent in them, rather than just file them, so to speak. So this is another one of those attempts. Excuse me. Of course, I have way more here than I could possibly ever use in one teeny weeny altered book or in a video, but got to have some options. So let me just remind you about this project. You may not even have been a subscriber when I first did this. And I know some of the eager beavers out there do go back and look at old videos and see what I've done and where I've come from. Okay, so I like this book. Now, I must have done this little stain here because it wasn't like that, obviously, when I started this. I loved this book because of the color. Now, it doesn't have a very wide spine, which meant that a heck of a lot of pages had to come out of it in order to, so there's an indication. Do I have a last page in here, perchance? Okay, this one is 214, but clearly there were some after that. And obviously I removed a bunch. So I believe this was my first attempt at doing that, you know, where you remove pages, excuse me, and glue others together. So the book is called 10 Rules for Living with My Sister. So far I have left these few intact. I guess I reinforced this. Okay, so just to give you an idea, this is a title page. Ooh, that's something kind of unattractive there. This is a title page, and this is page 26. So a lot of papers came out. Now, I think that I must have had a black and white thing going on here. So I've clearly made a side pocket, and that's the security part off an envelope. What is going on here? Oh, a top pocket, a side pocket, and these are, okay, 59 and 74. So a lot is missing in between those. And right now they are just one paper thick. Two of these kind of pockets. Another security envelope and a side pocket. Did I glue that down? No, I didn't, but I put in a little patch there for some reason. Pocket, pocket, pocket. Again, looks like I was on a black and white kick. So this is just a random collage here. This is a pocket. What's going on here? Oh, this is a side pocket. Side, 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 or one of those angled things. This, okay, I guess I reinforce this. Yes, this is a pocket, and I've reinforced the lip of it, so to speak, with that, again, parts of the envelope. And my intention here must have been just sticking with the color of the text and black and white. But, you know, a black and white base means that you can add anything else to it as a focal point. So, I loved what Kim did with hers. To be honest, I wasn't totally glued to the tube because I was working, you know, as I was listening and watching. It seemed very cohesive every time I did look up. So, okay, I'll show you what I have. This is, oh, these are still those papers that I'm trying to use up that had been kind of glued together. There's an envelope with some gold on it. So there's this kind of stuff. This, I have a number of these. These came out of a calendar. I guess the top or the side or whatever. So that's very colorful. And of course, you know, I like introducing the humanity of faces. This is obviously salvaged from a greeting card. That's something I dyed. I should probably put this aside. I must have had a plan for that. Oh, this is part of the women's journal stuff. This has been kicking around for a while. A huge wad of strips in a variety of widths. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to make little mini books with those. So maybe I'll put that aside and use these other widths that are less practical. So that's what we have kind of within sight. Now you saw that I also had this kid's book. Now, unless I use just fussy tear something, this maybe won't get used today. Oh, you know what? I bet you I was going to fussy cut this because of the farm images. You know, when you think about it, okay, so that's how a cow that's the position when she's either getting up or lying down. It is amazing to me. Like, cows weigh a lot of pounds, but yet they can do that pretty gracefully if you've ever seen a cow up close. So I'm putting that off to the side. Now I also have this pouch, and you know, I'm trying to get away from these random pouches. Beautiful, beautiful images, but because they're so darn gorgeous, but also tall, I've been kind of stymied by what to do with them. You know, wherever I could, I kind of kept the vignette intact. Anyway, so maybe I should not touch this for today. And then these were all the month headings. I don't know. I obviously didn't think this through very well before Oh, and I have these. Now, these are kind of like a Helen Steiner Rice. So maybe I will keep those out because they have a distinctive look. And it would be good to get rid of them. Okay, so we're not making any progress so far, but at least we're narrowing down some choices. Oh, I also have a pouch with a lot of the picture pages or partial pages from some Reader's Digest that I took apart. So, but again, I've used those. I think we'll put that aside. I also have some digitals that I've printed of different people's. Not quite sure why those are grouped together, but let's just plow right ahead. Now the black and white security envelope thing is pretty evenly scattered throughout the book. So I'm thinking that if I go off on a tangent and do something else, it should still work, number one, because black and white are essentially a neutral, but also because I'll be able to scatter them throughout the book. Maybe what I should do first, though, is use up these die cuts. So I've got, now they're a pain in the butt to glue, but, okay, so let's just do something instead of talking. Okay, so I think that these are going to, now this is totally, unless you back it with acetate or something, totally impractical to use as a pocket. But it could be a one simple layer in a collage. So I'm just tearing this to give myself something, please Lord, something that I can, whoops, that I can put my glue on. Now, that doesn't help a great deal, but what I want to emphasize that I also have these, got a herringbone and a harlequin pattern. Let's just do something. I don't like these straight edges, so I'm just going to start gluing I hope that you guys are well. Gertie, our daughter's French bulldog, is here. She came to the farm for holidays. That's how the expression that families used to use when I was a kid. Oh, you're going to Auntie Edna's for holidays. Anyway, so because my husband went to a meeting early this morning, I had to be the one to take her out for her morning constitutional. I don't know if I mentioned that in a video that I did earlier today or not, but I had a heck of a time getting her, okay, I looked at the thermometer and it was -12, so I thought, okay, she needs her little plaid, sweater, jacket, whatever it is. So, forgetting the routine, I put that on first. And I damn near broke her, well, I'm exaggerating, but it was so hard. I don't know if the armholes aren't quite big enough or what, but I had a heck of a time getting that second front leg through there, through the, the opening. And, you know, and then Velcroed it together and then realized, oh, damn, the, whatchamacallit, the harness should have gone on first. And I thought, I am not putting her or me through the pain and discomfort of trying to get, take that thing off and, you know, put the harness on and then go again. So I thought, well, it's cold. I'm just going to let her be free as the wind, knowing that the cold is going to work to my advantage. She's not going to want to, hey, maybe if I just dab like this will work a little bit. She's not going to want to linger out there when her tootsies start freezing. So basically, that's what I did. Oh, that's kind of yucky. How was I going to do that? I think like this. No, I should have had, don't have anything near me. Oh, I do have a napkin. Napkin guts. Napkin layers. That worked so much better than I feared. And again, because it's not perfect, even if one little thing or two get torn off, so what? Anyway, so when I texted my daughter, well, I actually called her with a bit of an agenda of things I needed to talk about. I said to her, is she like all the women in the civilized world that is squeezing into clothes that are too tight, just, you know, out of ego or whatever, delusion? And then, of course, we had a whole conversation about she might have another jacket in her bag, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I thought it was kind of funny that even in the dog world, well, dogs who don't do their own shopping, it just seemed like, females always being uncomfortable. Okay, that I think looks kind of cool. But we like repeating elements in this household. So let's put another piece down below. And of course, we know that at this point, I could very easily add hot pink, orange, lime green, red, yellow to this layout here, and it would be totally beautiful. Another thing that I did today that was different, excuse me, I have a fisherman's friend here. I should pop one in my mouth. And I think some people, I don't know if it was Americans in general or fisherman's friends, excuse me, is a lozenge, and this happens to be Lemon brand. They are pretty good. They, see, I think, personal opinion, that sucking on a Halls or something like that, you might as well suck on candy, because it's, I don't see that there's any medicinal benefit to that whatsoever. This at least feels like it, or tastes like it might be doing some good. I forgot what I was saying. This is ridiculous. Didn't have a cough earlier. Maybe it'll come back to me. Oh, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's like how people are drawn to a motor vehicle accident, you know, the rubbernecking that goes on at that time. But my husband, white noise for him is keeping CNN or MSNBC on, playing all the time. And let's just say that I too couldn't believe my eyes a few years back, and wasted too much time that I'll never get back watching some of that stuff. Anyway, so that is what has been, you know, that's sort of like almost like a babysitter in a way for Gertie to have, you know, that white noise playing in the background. Well, today, in the living room, because that's where that TV, I mean, that's where that would be playing, I put a CTV News channel on, which is the Canadian 24-hour, you know, news station. And I have to say, Gertie really didn't stay in the living room. So what the heck? Is she mesmerized by U.S. politics too, or what? What? Anyway, that's neither here nor there, I guess. It's not a very scientific experiment either. And there's probably a cardinal rule out there. Do not talk about politics on YouTube. So pretend I ever said it. So pretend I never said it. I feel like these little splashes of color would be kind of cool here. The other nice thing about using something like this over the very filigree look of the die cut is that, you know, if every little strand isn't perfectly glued down, the thing that comes above it will help hold it in place. And I have more of these so I can add more. I hope all the people look different. No, there's a repetition. Didn't realize that till now. Okay, but then there's this. Oh, look at that artist palette. I might have to keep, okay. I'm going to save for myself the book and the artist palette. I never really looked at these before. So there are 3 of those. 4 of those. Okay. Now, do I have them all? If I were a betting woman, I would suspect no, I do not. Let's just plaster this page with all of these guys and see what happens. I guess I could maybe speed this up if I did. I should dig out my tearing ruler. Okay, 3. I probably have too many. Let's get the tearing ruler out. Whoops. Anyway, how are your... It's December... I think today's the 9th. How are your Christmas preparation or holiday, because not everybody celebrates Christmas. How are your preparations coming? Are you a baker? Like, have you filled your freezer with all kinds of baking? Are you hosting? Are you going to be a guest somewhere? Is your shopping done? Are your gifts wrapped? Is your tree up? And all of those very critical life questions. Whoopsie daisy. I guess I could leave some untorn because it could be at the bottom. Maybe just for a change of pace, I will do this long guy under the word. 2 more, and then we begin, 3 more, and then we begin positioning. Oh dear, I have vowed to do more art kind of related projects and videos in the coming year. I think I'll just throw all these pieces out because I don't need those itty bitty, you know, I could try to save that, but not in this lifetime. I just have a hankering. That's not a word I use often. A hankering to push the artistic boundaries a bit. I think there's been a freeing that I've experienced with this cleanup, this reorganization, this new system of, you know, the physical, the actual products to help me get organized. I talked about that in previous videos, so I won't repeat it, but okay, let's scoop these into the garbage. Like having things more adjacent, and also I'm probably sounding like a broken record, but honestly reminding myself what I have and deciding, planning on actually using it is just too cool. Too cool for school. I maybe will use that, or let me just rip that in half because there's that little pinhole there. Okay, which was the one that I left without tearing. Oh, I'd better close the door. Somebody is home. How much stuff do I have in front of me? Okay, just hang on, I'll be right back. I'm doing the video. Gertie was out at 4. Okay, because I left a straight edge there, let's glue this baby down. And if there was ever a place, oh brother, big gob of glue on there. If there was a place to play in a book, this would be it. Because, really, how can you take an altered book seriously? Really, how can you? I probably have too many pieces for this page. We don't want those repeating. How come there's so darn many of the same thing? Anyway, let's glue that one down. So if this ends up being some kind of a flop of a layout, it won't be the end of the world. I don't think the collage police know where I live, so they won't be coming. And like many things that we do, we're never really done. I can always revisit this at any time and add something else or change something. And maybe because this has a bit of a scattershot look to it, what would happen if I just line them up? Yeah, too much repetition, people. I could, I suppose, tear these guys in half, especially this big one. So we got his whole face there. And make them two separate people. I could put this guy here, because you know how I feel about people looking outside the picture plane. Let's do it. We're going to throw caution to the wind. And if it turns out that it's kind of lacking something, I can address that in the future. I can pretend these guys are part of the background and then put a gigantic focal point over them. Okay. Obviously, whoopsie, that's sticky. I will not get all of them on one page, but that's fine. They can reappear someplace else. But you can be sure that now that I have torn them apart, or I mean torn around them, they are not going to be stored for the future. I don't know if that was what I wanted really, but it will have to do. There's no person there, just a pooch. The reason that we are dog sitting is because those two kids are going. Whoops, we better slide that up. Those two kids are going to some place. Well, I guess they land in LA. They're going to some kind of a guy's concert in a neighboring smaller city or whatever. Charlie somebody or other. First, they considered going to Vegas, but then when they saw the prices, and frankly, no one in our family is very impressed with Vegas. Sorry. Anyway, when they, kind of had a good look at the prices and realized that, holy cow, they were just out of sight, and then made the connection, well, it's NFR, no wonder, National Finals Rodeo. So it was cheaper to fly further and see the guy there than to actually, that's not too bad, surprisingly enough. I guess I shouldn't act surprised. Now, I do have this little Harlequin thing Do I want to, what else have I got here? I could get another, I could rip that apart and get another Harlequin thing. Let's see if this idea is going to work. What would I do? Would I just do that? That's cool. Let's glue that down. Let's glue that baby down. This is kind of annoying. I sometimes see, but again, it's one of those coveting what the neighbor has. I have seen people, I think the first person I ever saw use one of those was Gail Augustinelli. And then the other day I saw Lori, Enchanted Dreams Lori, using one of those, I think they're called book weight or something. So it's leather bound and it's heavy, and you just flop it down on your surface, and it obviously, it very discreetly and capably holds things down. And it's not, a big bulky thing like my sad iron, like I could do that, but that's not exactly subtle, is it? So, I don't know. That's what I mean. We see somebody have something, we think, oh, I must add that to my repertoire as well. Okay, I could get, what should I do here? I could go like, oh, that's disconnected already. So is that. It looks like I have to go this way. Boy, not much holding this all together. Now, worst case scenario, I could pretend that there were a couple more here. Nothing like fudging this. Oh, is that going to tear? Nope. We'll just tear that off. Now this, if those two things intersect there, it will seem like, oh, that's where she wants our eye to look. But is that true? Is that where we want our eye to go? I should have left those 4 intact. Oh, well. Sorry about this, guys, but you can see this is just evolving on the fly here. Okay, so this is what we have to work with, these 2 pieces. Maybe it is more effective if it goes over part of the picture. Now this looks like the focal point, but should it be? Now what I'm seeing, I don't know if you see it too, black, black, black. Well, then there's that. So it feels like maybe this has to go there. And maybe this has to, I don't know, go like so. I think I prefer that. Let's go for it. Okay, so what was I doing here? And then this guy was going to kind of be across there. Yeah, yeah. Using art, excuse me, art glitter glue for a quick grab. And it is Oh, it is easier to apply art glitter glue to delicate little things like this than if I were dragging a glue stick across it as well. Now I wish I wouldn't have put this herringbone at an angle. But too late now, kiddo. That seems lost up there, so we'll stick with the original plan. And I'd better keep an eye on the time. Clearly, I thought I was going to do more than one bloody page. Yeah, I like it. I like it. And again, this doesn't preclude me from ever going back and adding something. Like when I get my sentiments all sorted out, I may find the perfect word in maybe that green to just throw on there as well. Let me see what time it is. Oh, goodness, it's already 41 minutes. Let's do an easy thing. Notice, I still have this. Another thing I wanted to use up, I don't know what possessed me. I doubt the package was this big. Do you think that I bought enough of these stickers? Like, good grief. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. Hey, these might work well in this book. They're so graphic. And look, I've got these. I don't know, it's like I thought that the alphabet was being discontinued or something, and I had to make sure that I had enough. Like, jeepers creepers. So these newsprinty ones probably won't get used in this project either. Oh, and look what I just found. Hey, happy accident, baby. But that bird, this bird, it's looking inward. But this bird, we don't want to peel him off there, but we can trim around so we get a better feel for positioning, and we can move him around a little more easily. If I put him there, maybe the little guy, it would cover up that stuff that I didn't like. The herringbone at an angle. Now this bird is facing, okay, but this one has been inked. Oh, let me quickly ink that bird, and I can use that bird and that bird. And we'll have a rest for our eyes. Oh, yes. Okay, did I say I'm using little bird or big bird? I'll use big bird. Black. Black, black, black. And then we'll call this page, whoa, that's a little wide there. Geez, what am I doing? I might have to widen it a bit on the other bird just so they look like they came from the same flock. Yikes, that's kind of annoying. Maybe we'll call this a shadow, a little underbelly shadow. This is the part that gets me. I'll give this guy a little bit of okay. What kind of stuff is this? Let's just put a little insurance glue on there. And this, the surface of this is fabric. I don't want his tail extending beyond. I probably shouldn't cover her face either. Now I've got this little guy, but there is something to be said for surrealism, but I don't think we want her. Maybe I have to do 3 birds. Maybe I do 2. I don't want this bird sitting on her head. You know what's likely to happen if a bird sits on your head. Let me get rid of these things while I ponder that. Okay. Or do I leave well enough alone? I could move the bird. I'll move the bird over. Get it off her head, but still in the vicinity. I suppose if I were so inclined, I could give each bird an eye and just a little crescent shape for a wing, but I don't know. I do not know. Huh. Oh, what the heck? We're being daring here today, aren't we? That's a dry erase. That's a Sharpie. Let's hope that this is the right place. That's a beady little eye. That's a beady little eye. This one is too small. Because the pen sort of bounced over the texture of the fabric, it almost looks more like, could be wings, could be feathers. Okay, I think I'm going to stop there. I will probably, because I'm having a bit of fun here, I think I will continue decorating a few more pages, and then I'll bring this back to you at a follow-up Friday. Now, I heard through the grapevine, I can't remember the last time I had to update my iOS system for my iPhone, but I heard that in the latest upgrade, that you can actually now pause your camera during a video. That would be revolutionary. Let's just say that. Okay, guys, I am pretty pleased with how that turned out and glad that those birds accidentally landed there, because I surely did not remember that I had this. They were tucked in with all these alphabet stickers. Okay, we will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for being here. And I hope if you haven't altered a book that you do, and that you join me in some of this fun. Thanks, bye.